Don't do it. Okay, so we are solving by the square root method. So that means we want to get the x by itself. So to get rid of the 25, I'm going to not subtract because it doesn't say plus. Divide by 25. So you divide this side by 25 and this side by 25. So you get x squared equals 144 divided by 25. To get rid of the squared, we square root. So you get x equals, anytime you square root, you have to take the positive and the negative. And you can just type this straight in. So second square root 144 divided by 25. Math, enter, enter, 12 fifths. So what you're doing is you're taking the square root of 144, which is 12, and the square root of 25, which is 5. All right, so same thing. The first step is to divide by that 3. So divide by 3, divide by 3. So we get x minus 4 squared equals 16. To get rid of the squared, square root, square root. So we get x minus 4 equals, what's the square root of 16? 4. But does it only equal a positive 4? It also equals a negative 4. So to get rid of the minus 4, you add 4, add 4. So x equals 8. To get rid of the minus 4, you add 4, add 4. So x equals 0. Now, had this been your test, you can do left side y1, right side y2. So I could have put 3 parentheses x minus 4 squared. And in y2, I would have put 48. And you can look at your table and see where y1 matches y2. I'm at funky numbers. Do y'all know how to jump to a different number? Second window, and let's just go to 0, because we said that's one of our answers. So second graph. Yep, they both equal 48. And we said it should also be at 8. Yep, they both equal 48. All right, this next one, to find the missing value. This is what we did with completing the square, except instead of having minus 20x plus blank, they have a c. So to find the blank, you cut it. So it's x minus 10. We take half of this b value. I mean, yes and no. So after I cut it in half, I get 10, and then you have to square it. So what is 10 squared? Nope, 10 times 10 is 100.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, so we're going to do the same little method we did here, but we're actually going to do it with an equal sign. So again, I need a blank. So how do I get rid of this 15? Nope, this time it says plus 15, so I would subtract the 15. And if you do it to this side, you need to do it to this side. So we get x squared plus 16x plus blank. And over here, 0 minus 15 is negative 15 plus blank. Because if you have a blank on this side, you have to have a blank on this side. So how do I find out what goes in the blank? How did we do it up here? We had to cut it. So we do x plus 8, because that's half of 16. And then you square it. So 8 squared, 64. So 64 goes in this blank. 64 goes in this blank. So it equals, we take negative 15 plus 64, which is 49. So to actually find the solutions, to get rid of the squared, square root, square root. So x plus 8 equals 7. Does it only equal a positive 7? It also equals negative 7. So to get rid of the plus 8, we are going to subtract 8, subtract 8. So x equals negative 1. Subtract 8, subtract 8. So x equals negative 15. Now, if this had been your test, you could have found the answer just using your calculator. Again, left side y1. So I could have done x squared plus 16x plus 15. Right side y2, so 0. And according to what I said, they should be the same at negative 1. Yep. And they should be the same at negative 15. Yep. All right, then over here, simplify the radical. Anyone remember how to simplify the radical? You do the little thingy, the twins, the tree. So 48 can break into 4 and 12. What can 12 break into? 3 and 4? Do we have any twins? These aren't identical twins because I wrote my 4 different ways.
Can you simplify? The one that's on the, like, say, it's 12, so it's 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3's on the outside and 1 dies. So
No, who broke out of jail? Who's our twins?
3 and 4, 2 is.
Okay, so you could go further. I can also stop here because I already have my twins. Does that make sense? So you would have gotten 2 sets of 2's. So 2 times 2 is 4. So the 4 is what's on the outside. The 3 doesn't have a twin, so he's left on the inside. Yeah, so the 2 breaks out and the 3's left in jail. Because the 2 has a distractor. Yes. All right, quadratic formula. To be able to use quadratic formula, it has to be equal to 0. So we're going to add 2x, add 2x. So 3x squared plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. Because I want it in descending order. So your a value is 3 because it's in front of the x squared. The b value is 2 because it's in front of the x. And the c value is negative 4. That's the constant. All right, so we use quadratic formula. X equals opposite b. So the opposite of our b is negative 2. Plus or minus the square root. Your b value is 2 squared minus 4. A, which is 3. C, which is negative 4. All over 2a. And there you go. That's your answer, because this one just wants you to set it up. You don't have to simplify it. Asias, why aren't you doing this with me?
Oopsie. Got this on the bar? Yep. Oh, sorry.
All right, this next one. First, we have to get it equal to 0. So to get rid of the 7x, I subtract the 7x. So we have 4x squared minus 7x minus 5 equals 0. Nope. So your a value is 4, your b value is negative 7, and your c value is negative 5. So x equals opposite b. The opposite of a negative 7 is a positive 7. Plus or minus the square root b squared. So we have negative 7 squared minus 4. A is 4. C is negative 5. All over 2a. Your a value is 4. So you have to plug it in, but this one wants it simplified. Okay, so we're going to simplify what's underneath the radical. So x equals 7 plus or minus the square root. So to find what's underneath the radical, we've got negative 7 squared minus 4 times negative 5. Just typed in what's underneath the radical, not the square root sign. And it's 129 over, what's in the denominator? 2 times 4 is 8. And that is your simplified radical form. But it also wants the decimals. So to get the decimals, you're just going to type this in. Oops. So you do 7 plus the square root of 129. Enter. Divided by 8. So one of your solutions is 2.295. So you get one of your solutions by adding. You get your other solution by... No. Subtracting. So now we're going to take 7 minus the square root of 129. Enter. Divided by 8. So negative 0.545. All right, the expression h squared minus 3h represents the area of a triangle. H is the height. What is a reasonable height of the triangle if the area is 88?
Just go back. Go back.
I'm sorry. I went too fast.
I can't write fast.
Okay. All right. So they're giving us this equation, so h squared minus 3h. And what are they telling us it equals? 88. Easiest way to do this? Calculator. Please, please, please utilize your calculator on your test. So in y1 we have x squared minus 3x. In y2 we have 88. So this says they're the same at negative 8. Is that my answer?
No.
Why not?
Negative.
Because it's negative. You can't have a negative height. So the only answer that we actually want is 11. Because at 11, they both equal 88. Y1 and Y2 are the same. All right, 8. Solve for R. So we want to get this R by itself. So I need to get rid of the 3. So to get rid of the 3, you divide by 3. So we get R squared equals N divided by 3. Sorry if I confused you. I just flipped it because I moved that over here. And then to get rid of the squared, we square root. So R equals plus or minus the square root of N over 3. That's it. We don't know what number that is, so we just leave it.
Just make the alternatives tomorrow before the test.
Fantastic. All right, use the graph below to fill in the blanks. The rocket was at a height of 600 feet. Let's see, 600 feet. It's right here at 10, but it's also at 30. So on your test, make sure you go all the way across and get both of the values. So it's at 10 and at 30. The range for the situation. We know from when we were talking about the height of a triangle, you can't have negatives with a situation, right? So what is the lowest that this graph is going to go? Nope, that's the x value. Remember, Dr. XY. Range means y, and it's also robot, bottom to top. The bottom is at 0.
Is it 0
and 800. The top is at 800.
Oh. Okay.
How low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go? How low?
The little stick and then you go under it.
That's a limbo. I was thinking more of the Ludacris song, but okay.
I don't know what it is.
All right, on 10, we have to solve for y first. This is your free response part on your test. So to solve this for y, what do I need to do? No, we want to keep this over here. Minus the 3x. And you're going to write it side by side. So we get negative 2y is greater than 12 minus 3x. To get rid of the negative 2, we divide everything by negative 2. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo.
And you make weird jokes.
I do make weird jokes. All right, why am I wee-oo-wee-ooing? Yes, I'm dividing by a negative, which means I have to turn it around. Make it a less than instead of that greater than. 12 divided by negative 2 is a negative 6. Negative and a negative is a positive 3/2 x. So to graph this is worth 4 points on your test. You start at the y-intercept. What's my y-intercept? Negative 6. And then how am I going to move? Up 3 over 2. 1, 2, 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 3 over 2. Okay. Is this a solid or a dotted line? Dotted, because there's not a line underneath, so do not draw your line through there. And then for this symbol, remember Slim Shady?
Yeah. Well, you.
Go below.
So I was right. I mean,
So 8, 6. That falls directly on the line. Is this a solution if it falls on the line, ladies?
what?
Is it a solution if it falls on the line?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
No, because it's a dotted line. Way to go, Asias.
How much?
Okay, and then 4, 3. Is that a solution? No, because it's not shaded. That's your review. Make sure you know all of your vocab.